Hello, how you guys doing today? Today is good, good day and stuff. I don't know, best I can come up with. Welcome to the Grind Show. That's not really called the Grind Show. I already fucked it up. Welcome to the stream, guys. I'm Grindhead Jim. Today we're gonna be playing some Black Armory stuff. I'm waiting for this download to complete installing. It is taking its sweet time. I will show you. It's taking forever. But that's okay. We weren't going to play right away anyway, despite what many of you may have thought. Because I wanted to talk to you guys. But I always like talking to you guys. Talk. Speaking of T's, the Touching Tentacle, Triple T, is in the chat. How you doing? Zilla gets everybody, man. Gets everybody. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Been a while. But today, what I want to talk about during the stream today is what expansion, DLC, extra content in the game, like what made you most excited or like most anticipated, and it paid off, right? Destiny players are probably going to say Taken King or Forsaken. Certainly there's other stuff out there that's really cool. Like anytime Trials, like Trials HD, Trials Fusion put out DLC, I was like, oh, really into it. But I remember Halo, the original Halo on the original Xbox, had this. It wasn't DLC because DLC wasn't a thing yet. It was a disc you could buy. It had a bunch of multiplayer maps and some updates to the game. And you bought it for $20 in the store, put it in, loaded it onto your hard drive. So it was like physical DLC. It's the first of its kind for consoles. And it expanded the game in a big bad way for multiplayer. And I remember being so fucking hyped for that. It was just like an expansion for Destiny now, where you had more maps, more weapons, all kinds of cool shit, right? And it was so fucking hyped because we were so addicted to Halo 2 back in the day. Like, it was insane how big that game was. Everybody played Halo. Even your grandma. Like, I mean, not your grandma. My grandmas were dead by that time, so my grandma. Okay, so no one's grandma played it except for some grandmas who we don't know. You know, and there are some grandmas now that still play it. Grandmas playing Halo. That should have been the topic for today. Grandmas who play Halo and the grandchildren who want the controller back. That would have been great, right? That would have been amazing. But alas, it was not meant to be. But yeah, a lot of people like to talk trash about DLC and expansions and content like that because it does represent a corporate mindset of monetizing product. In some cases, you know, games have been cut up from what their original release would be to stretch out the game. You know, the original Destiny was accused of that, and I don't necessarily think that's true. I think there was stuff cut out of the original game we never got to see that we've now seen later in the series because they just didn't have time to finish it. But I think the expansions for Destiny 1 were clearly made as expansions, in my opinion. Touching Handle says, Destiny was the first game I really invested time into, and yeah, exciting for TTK and Forsaken, absolutely. You know, there's I feel like expanding a game beyond its base, you know, vanilla, you know, whenever it makes sense for the story, whenever it makes sense for prolonging gameplay, I think is amazing. I think GTA 5 has shown that, you know, you can really do that in a free environment that also has microtransactions if you want to use them, and it can work. I think there's plenty of games out there that show that expanding a game over time, you know, WoW, World of Warcraft, like certainly has that going for it, and it's something, I think that's kind of the model everyone wants to have, and as much as you want to be able to monetize the game over time without having to make major changes to the engine. And I feel like Destiny should have always been that. You know, update the engine over time so it has more graphic fidelity, but the base game would always, you would just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But I think the deal with Jay Brucifer, thank you very much for the kind host. How in the ever-living mother of fuck are you? Hope you're good, man. Hope you're good, bro. Good to see you. And if you're not even here and you're just hosting from afar, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Don't even talk about Fallout 76, dude. I'm not a Fallout player. I've got absolutely no investment in that franchise except for the friends of mine that are into it, and that thing's a failure. Bottom line. Researchers are like, taking a dumpster. Girl, I know I love you. You know I love you. You know I love you. Well, you know what? I definitely believe... Oh, it's a snow flow. Holy shit. It's a snow flow. Snow flow. So if you're really on the toilet, Brucifer, and because I'm so happy to see Snowflow and touching Tentacle Triple T, I want to do something that'll scare the shit out of all of you. I'm going to get hype.
Oh shit, what is that? What is that?
I don't know what the that was.
That's the hype train, motherfucker. That's the hype train. Anytime you think that the stream is getting a little bit boring or it's off track or you want to bring things up, you just throw that command in chat. There is a per user cooldown, but people can go back to back to back to back if they want to. Absolutely. I have no issue with that. It's there to keep the thing going. And I put in the what is that and all the breaks in it because I figured that people that aren't into grindcore would be startled. Be startled as fuck. And I wanted to make sure that there was some value for it for people that don't like grindcore. That's why it's funny as well. So, yeah, that's a band called Last Days of Humanity. I actually listen to that band a lot to relax. I'm not even joking because that music moves at such a fast pace. It just washes over me and I'm just like, It's good shit. Good shit. It is definitely raw. It's just raw. One of the best bands that ever fucking existed in the grindcore genre, ever. That album was from like 1996 or 97. It's 20 years old and is still fucking way more over the top than pretty much anything that's ever been out there to this day, with the possible exception of the Berserker. And even the Berserker has more traditional melodic value than Last Days of Humanity will ever have. Last Days of Humanity sounds like a bunch of rabid bull elephants getting into a blood feud inside of a dumpster that's going into the pit of hell during Armageddon. You know, and 6 Feet, man, like I love the first record, and I like songs here and there over the years. Torment was a great album. I like the fact that it was a faceless album that had Chris Barnes on it. It's not really a 6 Feet Under album, I'm sorry. But it's a great album. Like 6 Feet Under with Blast Beats ceases to be 6 Feet Under. But I love it. And Lord Marco, the drummer on that album, is a good friend of mine. We've been friends for over 10 years. And so I was really happy that he got the gig. And I think that the writing they did was really good. I just don't feel like 6 Feet ever really needed that. Although it might have given them the dynamics that they've been craving. Crash Starling, welcome to the stream. He says, dang, way to paint a picture. Thank you. I'm a descriptive motherfucker. It's what I do. Words are my thing. So I appreciate that you appreciate that. I appreciate that you appreciate. Appreciate that you appreciate. I'm going to check in with this download real quick, just so you know I'm not whistling Dixie here. Copying 56%. Some of the guys in the clan were like, man, why did they delay the PS4? And a couple of the guys were like, so the PC playing streamers could get a good solid half-hour playtime in and shit. And I'm not that cynical. What is your thing, Poopin'? I mean, your thing is just being awesome. Like, you don't have to point to one niche, nosh, noodly hootooch. You're just awesome, period. You just sit there and everyone's like, that dude's awesome. I mean, you got a beard, you're smart, you're funny. You're just awesome. Crash Starling says, I don't think pooping can be anyone's thing, but you do you, man. Man. No, I'm not. I'm all unshaven. Like, I took, like, the electric razor and just kind of trimmed it down a little bit. I was going to shave, but I was like, nah, I got to get to the store before this download starts. But Snowflow, what have you done? What you have done is show up. And that's wonderful. And I love you to death. Guys, shout-out commands can be done by anybody. It doesn't have to be a moderator. It's either shout, caster, or SO. So I want anyone who streams to shout themselves out, especially Snowflow. I know she doesn't stream a ton, but when she does, she is so awesome to hang out with. I love her to death. Brucefer says, by the way, Drop Frame's last 2 broadcasts are non-existent after 2 fucking months. Nice, dude. Nice, dude. I mean, if a person takes a shit, I mean, the fact of the matter is this. It's not what you do, it's how you do it, because everyone streams, right? Everyone does. On Twitch, right? And using it as an example. But how you go about it is what makes you awesome at it. So, like, you can't, you know, obviously streaming is not your thing, but what you do. So, like, if you take a shit and you do it in an awesome way, like, it isn't, you don't have to, the shit itself doesn't have to be, like, super insane. Maybe you dance like like an Elmo like poop dance. Maybe you can like create music with your anus. I don't know. Anything can be anyone's thing. Snowflow says the only thing I'm promising my streams is lots of hiccups. Well, that's fair. You know what? I bet you they're going to be the best goddamn hiccups you ever had to watch. I mean. Thomas Fireheart says, as far as the topic goes, I'd say the most recent example of DLC I've been hyped for and enjoy Splatoon 2's Octo expansion, a beefier story mode than the base game that isn't just a carbon copy. When you finish it, you unlock another playable race, all for $30, an Aussie money, damn good deal for all the effort they put in. I agree. That sounds like a really great way to grow that base game in a way that is meaningful and provides value. Because end of life modem for Comcast wasn't being fed newer firmware, so I went over the top and got an Ares SB8200. Yeah, I keep toying with the idea of getting a modem. I have to wait until my work has been doing this beta where they're doing VoIP for the phones, but I have to keep a phone line until that definitely happens 100%. And when that happens, I can go Comcast modem and then get a regular modem. I'll get that. So, because Thug Life, exactly. Someone says, that's why I watch you don't even care for Destiny. That's exactly, see, that's what I've been saying for fucking years. You go to a stream, you go to content because of the person. The content is just an excuse to get more of the person that you like to hang out with, right? And, like, I don't have to like a game. Like, I fucking hate Stardew Valley. I think it's Riri, okay? I won't play it. But you know what? Anything that's just like... you're gonna laugh at me. Anything that's a repetitive grind where you don't really... You're just constantly in search of something else. Like, you're just trying to keep going. Like, Don't Starve has, like, a certain kind of anxiety to it, but it is a darker version of, like, a Stardew Valley where you're trying to gather stuff and keep things going and keep the things going. Because for me that induces a level of anxiety. I won't play those kind of games, and watching them is kind of fun for that reason. But I ignore those games and I just watch the person. I listen to them talk and everything. For me, I think some of the best content creation comes from the creator being comfortable and just being able to be themselves. I think that's why I keep streaming Destiny, because one, people like watching me play it. I think they like watching me play it because I am so comfortable in that world that I can have any kind of discussion and still make the gameplay somewhat worth watching, right? And if anything has shown me that is true, it's starting the streams like this where we're just having a discussion. People are showing up and engaging and talking and loving it. And they're not like begging me to like, start up the game. Like, I haven't gotten any of that yet, which is fucking great. Fucking great. And I was so excited to stream today. Like, I went to the store, bought a bunch of groceries because we needed it, and I bought like an extra bunch of like turkey and ham and sub rolls. I was gonna make myself a gigantic like fucking sandwich. I skipped making the sandwich. Start of the stream. I have top shelf roast turkey, top shelf maple ham, and top shelf sharp cheddar sitting in the fridge right now. Thin cut for maximum flavor. And like fresh bakery, like big like rolls. I was gonna make this big fucking Hanna-Barbera sandwich. And I didn't. Too excited to see you guys. What does that tell you? I mean, when you're excited to hang out with your community and your community is excited to hang out with you, that's a great feeling, you know? And, you know, in a lot of ways, I look at, like, I get excited for content in a game because I get to share it with you guys. You know, there's one thing that may have gotten spoiled for me story-wise in this, which I'm not going to spoil for you guys. There's one mechanic that got spoiled for me, but I was so excited about it that I shared it with the clan, which I don't normally do. Those of you that play Destiny, the vendor for this expansion, Ada 1 or whatever her name is, she sells mod components. One of the hardest fucking materials to get. She just sells them. Just sells them. Just sells them. And they're not expensive either. They're for each mod component, you're spending 25 gunsmith materials and 3 legendary shards. It's nothing. That is fucking nothing. And I'm like, yeet. So happy. Because now, when mods are for sale, you can buy the ones you really need, and you no longer have to worry about, am I going to run out of fucking shit? So, like, for me, that's going to be the grind, is to... It'll give me more reasons to go after, like, shit loot, so I can get materials that I can then turn into mods, and I can use mods on these new stuffs. These new stuff. PDT, start up the game, lol. Start it up. It's still going. It's 80% copying. It's, Is it leaking on me? No, I'm just sweating. I wonder if my vape was leaking on my hand. Yeah, I went to the place the other day, and my bottle had been leaking, and I told them what happened. They're like, "Oh yeah, that does sometimes happen. Here, let me give you another bottle. What do you want?" And I'd been doing this mix, which is called Red Cowboy and menthol. So I was basically doing like a Marlboro menthol vape. And I was like, "Well, just go with the menthol." And that was a mistake. Like, it's okay, but if I take a big hit, it's too harsh. So I was like, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, put some of the red cowboy in there because it's too much for me otherwise. So I think I found my flavor. People were like, "Oh, I like, birthday cake flavor and cherry pie and shit." I'm like, I can't imagine like inhaling that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I understand like the concept of flavor and everything, and I'm all for it, but like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of my mind. Maybe I'm out of my mind. Ugh. Did I do it right? Let's do this here. Hang on. Ah! Knocking shit over, man. Hey, Snow, why don't you type something? You too, Brucifer. type. What is that? What is that little thing next to your name? Could it be VIP? I think it could be. Yep. Because I love your face. You's a diamond. Not even in the rough. You just a diamond. A diamond. 90% copying. We're good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Ever so slowly. But I do feel like when you grow a game, you grow the community, and an easy way to do that is to expand it and to add content to it. An example of where that totally fucking fell flat and failed was both Watch Dogs games. They have failed at the idea of keeping those games alive. Have added zero value to the overall long-term gameplay of that franchise, and it's a shame because I love that franchise so much. What can you do, though? What can you do? %. 93%, motherfucker. Gonna for the I don't even sure what that means. I don't even care. I don't even care. Fuck it. 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 But I hate watching this, and I figure I would stream rather than just stare at it, because I will fucking stare at it. I will totally stare at the fucking thing. So at least here, have a nice sedate vape, talk to you guys, you know. I figure that's how it works. And you know, I figure, like, there are games that'll expand, and, like, the content in the expansion doesn't really pertain to, like, the way you play, but because it brings people in, you like it more, you know? I think that's kind of cool. Tom says, I thought of another example, not that much, but I was hyped to enjoy Assassin's Creed 3's DLC, The Tyranny of King Washington. Pretty cool what-if scenario based around the idea of George Washington being corrupted by one of the franchise's artifacts to make himself King of America. There you go. That is actually pretty cool. King Wooden Teeth. Long live King Wooden Teeth.